Hi, this is Scott Ney, and welcome back to the snare drum session for the 2008 NMMEA All-State auditions. I want to talk a little bit about the etude you're playing, some exercises that you can do, also some musical things that happen in the etude that you need to focus on, and hopefully that will help you in interpreting the etude and working up some of the skills that you'll need to perform this particular etude. I'd also like to thank Jeff Cornelius, who recorded the etude, and I have that on my website at scottney.com. You can check that out. It's a great example of how the etude really should sound when it's played by a great player. So, just getting into the etude here real quick, a few things. First, just the setup of the drum and the equipment. Make sure that you have a concert height stand so that the drum comes up to your waist, so that as you raise your arms into a comfortable natural position and step into the drum, it's at the proper height. You're not having to lift or you're not having to play too far down, so that the drum's at a nice comfortable height. Second, making sure that your position in relationship to the drum isn't too close or too far away. Your arms, if I turn to the side, should be hanging down at your side. You shouldn't have to reach out to the drum, and if you're standing too close, you'll have to pull your arms back, so you don't want to be like this or reaching out. So just step away from the drum, bring your hands up to a comfortable position, step into the instrument, and the drum should be at that height. I actually place one foot just slightly in front of the other foot so I can lean into the drum a little bit. That helps me, and I like that feeling. Some people have their feet shoulder width apart, like so, and just sort of leaning into the drum a little bit. Whatever's comfortable for you. You don't want to be hunched over the instrument though. Hopefully I won't do that. A couple things just about the etude. One of the difficult things about this etude is playing at different volumes. You have to play quite loud, you have to play really soft. So I would recommend you take just some easy passages from any other etude, or just play some 16th notes and practice going from a loud dynamic forte or fortissimo down to piano or pianissimo or something like this. The more you do it, the quicker you can make that transition. So you might want to put, say, a half note in between the forte and the piano at first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then maybe a quarter note. And maybe an eighth note. The quicker you have to transition between forte and piano, the more difficult it is, so you can work your way into that. So that's one little exercise that you can do. The next thing I want you to think about is roll bass, and the roll bass is how fast your sticks are moving in playing the roll. So for this particular etude, we're at 63 to the quarter note. So for anything mezzo forte and above, I'm playing 30-second notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm playing at a piano level, I'm playing more of a triplet. However, if you're a younger player and you haven't worked a lot with playing triplet and with roll basses of 3 and 4, then I would recommend you just stick with 8. Just play 30-second notes for all your dynamics. So whether you're playing at this volume, you're going to be playing 30-second notes. Or if you're playing at this volume. But you certainly can try both, and you can see what works best for you. Either of those would be acceptable. But that's really important. It'll also help you keep time at first. And in keeping time, I would recommend you first practice this etude with the 8th note going. And then as you get comfortable, switch to the quarter note. A couple things about specific measures in the piece. Measure 3, where you have those decrescendo rolls, come back up to forte volume each time. It's a little confusing, but it should sound something like this. 1, 2, ready. don't want to come down and then come down again. Come back up to forte both times. In measure 5, I would recommend that the first few beats of pianissimo you use one hand. Although it's not necessary. That's my interpretation of that. In measure 6, make sure that the 2 16th notes are played as 5-stroke rolls. Don't play them as open drags. So you don't want to hear this. You want to play them as 5-stroke closed rolls. Okay, that's real important. In measure 11, it says pianissimo, crescendo, diminuendo, and it doesn't give you an actual dynamic to come up to. I would recommend coming up to forte, and then you're doing the same thing when you actually do the roll. So it would sound something like this. So both of those crescendos come up to forte. These are just a few suggestions. And again, check out the audio example that Jeff Cornelius has on my website, and I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. My email is lsney@unm.edu. Take care, and good luck.